Today's going to be another video about the little red truck. So previously, we might have a visitor here in a second. Previously, Josh did some work on the truck. Oh, there's a little visitor. I know, Keith. Hi, girl. Oh. Anyways, so some work has been done on the truck. Josh replaced the headers on the truck, and with that, he had to do some extra work, like replacing the dipstick, and had to add some heat shield around the spark plugs. I'll show that in a second here. And then there was some video of it, but it didn't turn out too good. So that's one of the reasons why there wasn't a video like 2 weeks ago or whatever. And then I got lazy. Today we're going to be installing some new valve covers. Right now they're just like a red, but these are the new ones. Nice and shiny, and they have the Chevrolet engraved on them. It looks pretty good, so that's today's project. So here you can see the new headers there, nice and shiny. And then we also have those goldish colored things there, or the heat shields around the spark plugs. And that's the new oil dipstick right there. And I believe they're what, short tube headers? Not long tube headers. So they end roughly right there. This whole thing is what we're taking off today and replacing. I'll also show you, Josh replaced the choke on it, so now there's an electric choke.
So pretty much the old system used a manual choke, which was just a cable that came through the firewall here, and cable came down here, and then it would hook onto this linkage really. And so in the truck, when you'd start it up, you'd manually shut the choke, like so. It'd be like that. Makes it easier to start the truck up, and then as it would warm up, you would push the cable in, and that would open up the choke, and then when the engine was running full steam, you would push it in all the way, and this is where you drive the truck. But the cable was really, really tough to push. Bought this little fancy kit, and pretty much it just replaces the cable with an electric system. So pretty much I've got power here, ground, inside of here. I'll show a little picture. It's got a coil pretty much that there's two different types of metal in it, and as it heats up from the power, it'll open, and it'll slowly open over about 5 minutes. Then after that, it'll be wide open like that. When you shut the truck off, it'll cool back down, and it'll be shut ready for next time. So I've already taken the bolts off that were holding this valve cover down. It's just 4 bolts. I'm gonna move these spark plug wires out of the way. Just lift it off to give me some more room. Even lift straight up. Don't want to mess anything up under there. It's gonna be exactly what we had there. It's gonna go like that. But before that, we're gonna have to put a new gasket on there, and there's gonna be these little baffles that I'll show you over here. So in the old one, it's got it welded in from, it's a factory job. Little baffle over the breather hole right there. Without these baffles put in, the oil would spin around, it would splash through the hole, through your breather, and it would get soaked in oil, and you would smell more oil than usual. It's not gonna hurt anything, but it's not ideal. So this kit has provided us with 4 little sheet metal screws, which I feel like they could have done better. They could have tapped these holes and put some threaded, some threads in there for proper screws, but whatever. Got some sheet metal screws, I've got some red Loctite I'm going to throw on there once we have the holes drilled out. And then we'll secure that. Red Loctite because we don't want them ever coming undone. If you wanted it to come undone, you would use blue Loctite. But red should pretty much glue the screw in place, which is what we want. Having these little guys come undone, while your engine's running, would not be good. So we'll take these out and start lining it up and screwing it in. Inoki.
Where'd you push it? Under there? Where's your bone? Where's your bone, Noki?
So, got the baffle here. It fits nicely in there. Yeah, it's gonna go there. Screws here. We're not gonna put Loctite on yet because these holes have no thread, so I've got to kind of drill it out first, and then I'll back it off. Put
Today, Junior!
Loctite on, and then I'll screw it back in. I just don't want I want to be able to drill it out, get all the metal shavings out, blow it out, and then we'll do it. You can see all those metal shavings, obviously from just, screwing out, because the idea of these sheet metal screws, it's kind of got a little point on the end there, and it's going to cut. So we don't want to lose metal shavings in the engine, so I'm just going to dump that out. Not many metal shavings, but we'll do that. Banged out the metal shavings. They're probably all out, but just for safe precaution, I'm just gonna blow these little holes out with compressed air. Holes are tapped out, or drilled out, I guess. Metal shavings are out of there. We'll line up the baffle. It kind of clicks into place a little bit just around the rubber grommet. And now I'm just gonna put a dab of red Loctite on the screw here. Don't need much of it. Put a Loctite. And I'm just gonna screw it down just so it's nice and snug. Even that's probably a little bit too much, but whatever. Really don't want these coming out. As you can see, there's no play in there at all. I know they're tight. You don't want to go too tight because with these, because they are a sheet metal screw, they're gonna keep digging in. So if you go too much, then they'll back off naturally a little bit, and there'll be a little bit of play. So you just go till it's snug, and red Loctite, that'll hold that all together in place. We've got this one. May as well do the other one while we're kind of in the groove. It's the exact same thing. Oh. Billet Industries, the guys who make these, they recommend a cork gasket. It's what was on this one as well, an old cork style. I couldn't find any local to me, so my local shop had these guys. If I ever find that there's a little bit of blow by or it's leaking a little bit, I'll take them apart, put a cork one in. But these are a rubber seal with a steel core, and that'll crush down a little bit, and it should provide great, great seal. There's not a whole lot of pressure in here, so it should be fine. We'll find out, I guess. Okay, new gasket. There's two in the pack, obviously, one for either side. Not much to it. You just lay it out. It should line up perfectly. This way. I like that better. Okay. It's pretty good. There's a couple little shavings here I'm just gonna clean up. Just don't want to risk any little chunks of rubber or anything getting in the engine. Generally, like on just valve covers of this year, you'll have these little, I don't know what you'd call it, but pretty much these little guys go on before you bolt down, and it just helps distribute the pressure or the torque a little bit further out, rather than just having your bolt going down here and torquing this down. With the new ones though, they recommend not using anything like that. And what they've done is kind of built up some metal here, and it kind of acts as that distribution. So, I don't know. Will it work? Sure. Hopefully, that's what they recommend. So, we'll do that, and should be good. Should look a lot cleaner too. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go. I'm just gonna wipe the edge where the new gasket's gonna go down. I mean, it's pretty clean, but may as well get a nice good seal on the new one. This is the tricky part, is, you know, lining everything up. And I think that's why guys like using the cork, because you can actually, well, with a cork one, you kind of glue it down, per se, down there. So we'll make this work. Put that in there. Look this up. This is a rough idea what it's going to look like. In my opinion, quite a bit better. I think we're going to have to get a next purchase will be a new air cleaner. The current one's black. We'll put it all back together after, and you'll see. I think the black kind of stands out now. It's going to have to be chrome, but all the holes are fairly lined up. I'm going to use the screws to help them line up a little bit more. Finger tighten them all, and then we'll torque it down. Okay, so I've got my screws. I've got 4 of them. These are the old ones. The new one, the new covers didn't come with new screws, so old ones look fine. Good shape. So got a little crush washer in there. We'll line those up. I know you can't really see from there, but there's little holes. I'm lining that through the gasket. I'm just gonna finger tighten it a little bit. Try to get them all in place. I couldn't really get any of the screws to go in as smooth as I would like them to. So, like with the valve cover on. So I took the valve cover off. It seems like, even though I just took the other valve cover off, it seems like there's maybe some grime or dirt, little chunks in each of the holes. So what I'm doing is using some brake clean, protecting, you know, anything from going in the engine, and I'm just spraying out each hole. If there's any dirt or whatever, this will kind of push it out. There's probably a little bit of brake clean, even though it evaporates pretty quickly. There's probably a little bit at the bottom of each of these holes. I'm gonna use air here and blow it out, make sure it's dry. We don't want any liquid or solid stuff in these holes. As we torque down, not much, but I mean, better than having it in there and then trying to torque down on that. So. I've got all 4 studs hand tight, like they're snug. I know they're good. We're gonna torque it down now. It does not require much. There's, like I said before, there's not a whole lot of pressure in the system. So I've got my little torque wrench, 1/4 inch drive. We're gonna set it up to 55 inch-pounds. So if you wanted to do that in foot-pounds, which most torque wrenches are, not for engine work, but like if you have it around, it'd be like 4 foot-pounds, which is like nothing. Your wrench won't even go that low, so.
So it's on now, all torqued down. Just, you can see a little side-by-side comparison between the old one and the new one.
I thought that other side was gonna be really easy, but I had a couple little issues here and there. But now I know what to do. It should go easy here. All I have to do, remove this little wire out of the way, gonna take this off, move that out of the way. Put it right there. But I know I'm gonna have to remove this alternator, especially to put the new one in. I don't want to scratch it up. I could probably shimmy this one out maybe, but it'll be easy. I'll just take this alternator bolt out here, take the bottom one out, and we'll swing it out of the way. Okay, everything's torqued up. This side went on really good actually. Quite impressed. But yeah, all torqued up, both ends. We're gonna put the alternator back to where it should be, torque that up. Run the hoses back, plug in the wire that we unplugged, put the air cleaner back on, put the PCV vent, and have a look after all that.
So everything's done now. Everything's torqued down, put back together. Here's the final look at it. Nice and shiny. Looks pretty good. Just a little bonus to the end of the video. Yeah, we're bringing Josh's cruise to the shop. We have it on the trailer right now. It's leaking out of the, I believe it was the crankshaft seal. So had to get it trailered back here, and then now we're trailering it to the shop.